Hi, this is Andy from WCC here with our new standard world champion, Nuno Raimundo. Hey man, how's it going?
Well, I guess I'm just happy that I didn't get third this time, but winning's also pretty fine. So
Yeah, and with your victory, that means you get to come back to defend your title next year in the
Yeah.
2020, man.
that's pretty cool. Since I didn't win the sponsor trip, now I got in Worlds the sponsor trip for next year, so it's pretty good.
Yep. So, what deck did you decide to bring
I
today?
decided to play Pale Moon. I think it is the most consistent deck, most consistent choice. I wouldn't play Murakumo or Agravane because of the only one grade 3 right. I mean, Murakumo kind of has Shirayuki, but it's still iffy. For me, Pale Moon was the best pick because it's the most consistent and still powerful deck. It still has a high ceiling.
All right. Well, let's have a look at your deck, man.
Okay, so we have the starter. Then we have the 4 Lukier and for the rain. This is basically your key cards. You mulligan for these every time. You try to get this one first, and you can also get this. There are matchups where you want to ride this one first, like if your opponent's a Tashikaze or some rush deck, and you're going second. This can be pretty impactful, going second first ride. And I also played one Chimera because this card's basically nuts. When your opponent tries to damage deny you, you can just ride Dorian up and then call this, get the draw still, and then get the Lukier to do next turn. It's just so broken, in my opinion.
It pretty much in a game, like with Power Moon, normally it's like you have 5 counterblasts, and that boot hurdle makes it so you have 6, which is free activations.
It's really important, yeah. But I mean, after 2 Lukiers, you normally win. But if this is more for like Narukami matchup. It really helped me today. I played against Narukami, tried to damage deny me. I was just use this and win the game. So going to grade 2s. We play for Lilian. It's a tutor. Like you just you just search your deck for one of these. So if you open this, you search for this. If you open this, you search for this. It's just so broken. It costs a CB though, which is kind of painful. So you want to use other cards that we'll show later to put your stuff into soul before doing this. Like normally at first ride, I'll try to do stuff to not have to use the first ability. Apart from that, it's just a beater, 19k body, 22k when you use Lukier. It's just really good. This is the beater, literally the beater. Just beats. It's good. It's for higher numbers, so yeah, pretty good.
Pretty much 19k, 22 with
Yeah,
Lukier.
22,
Same hits the same
30,
numbers with Lillian.
Goes to 30, 27 on Axel. It's really good against the meta. Also, 2 of these. This helped me a lot. The thing, when your opponent just is rushing you after you draw with the rain, you sometimes hope you draw triggers, to be honest, to be able to guard or survive. This card's just more 2 triggers in your deck for no reason, really. And then I played one of these. Because these cards actually never did anything. To be honest, if I was changing, I would probably cut her and play her a third of this. Because this card was just PG fodder or guarding, but I can see why it's useful because it's a card that hits for the higher number. It's even higher than Lukier that also gets
32 on an XL.
Yeah, basically. Which is just so good when your top 8 is 8 axes. So for Irina, best right target, it's what you want to use. When you ride with Lilian over this, you actually, in my opinion, you actually want to use Irina first to see if you get what you need, so you don't have to use Lilian. But if you need both pieces, then probably you should use Lilian first. But if you need more of these, then you're already losing because you kind of need to open with one of them to get the other one.
You can also, even if you need 2, Irina first, see which one you're missing, right?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
But otherwise, best right
Best
target.
card, you draw a card. Drawing is just way too important in the early game to survive and keep yourself alive. So, yeah, that's it. Best stacking card ever for Romy because the card's just so good. It stacks your deck. You spam this. After you use Lukier, you actually can do this and put this in soul and call attacker here. You want to spam this, sack your deck, to the bottom, like remember it, and then just win after third axle or second. Depends on your hand. Depends on how many of these you use.
With that card, you consistently go to your stack on like third axle.
Easily. Like sometimes you have to be careful though against like decks like Tashikaze or Agravane. If you use too many, you get out of shield. If you replace them, you have to be careful with that. But apart from that, just so good. 3 dragon. So this is kind of the difference between my build and what I've seen. These cards basically really good, in my opinion, because they push you to 5. They always do that, and then you just counter rush. And you're in my case, many people like I use this with Lukier, and then hit for 22. They like triple intercept because they have no cards in hands to guard. This most time happens, so you can clear your opponent's field. And I play 3 because I also play Chimera, so there's a little combo with this where, like, normally after you have 5 damage. After you do the first look, you have 3. After you do the second one, you have 1. You call 2 of these and call this. So 1 counterblast, these counter charges, you can use both dragons, which is like amazing. In my opinion, it's like 7 attacks for free. Then through 2 bunnies, I still want to stack. I still want a good right target, so that's why it's here. 8 fronts, no reason to not play this. Like, only if you never open fronts, you need to play 8, because if you open too many fronts and you don't have fronts in deck, then you're too fragile to damage triggers. So yeah.
With fronts, if you don't play 8 fronts, you can run out of front, and then your stack just becomes terrible.
You can be unlucky and run out of front, and just like, why are you even stacking at that?
That
point?
actually happened to me today.
Today?
Yeah.
Oh, damn. So, 4 drop PGs, no reason to not play this. Gotta play it. It's a drop PG, and 4 heals. Broken. It's the best trigger in the game.
All right. So. Yep, then that was the deck list. And why did I ask this question? Why did you play it? Yeah, I did. So, what are your thoughts on the build afterwards now?
Afterwards, well, I'll cut Lunar because it did nothing for me. I understand why people play it. I understand maybe I should play it. But like, the cards didn't help me that much today. And I'll have to test more and see if she's still worth though.
Alright, so we're going to be hitting with Bermuda Cummings very, very soon, which is coming out at the end of the month. Do you think that this deck still has a chance up against Riviere?
I think it's one of the few that still has, because the deck pushes you, like I said, and you can come back. The thing about Riviere is that it doesn't count counterblast, so you can't damage an item like you do with Murakumo or Tashikaze. But I think the deck's still pretty good because it generates hand and helps you dig for your PGs to guard Riviere. So it's pretty good. Like, it's the only deck, I think, and maybe Muras.
Maybe Muras.
Yeah, maybe Muras.
So top 3 decks going to the next format: Palmu, Mura, Riviere. Top 3.
Yeah, I can say that. Yeah.
So
before EB12, yeah.
Yes, before EB12. So you expect anybody playing Springfest before EB12 to bring those 3 decks?
Yeah, I expect that. I really do. You can bring Tashikaze though, but I'm not a big fan of the deck.
Why not?
Because I don't like decks that work. In my opinion, like 1 out of like 2 times, maybe it's like 50% chance of working or not. Like, the deck still has a skill cap pretty high, in my opinion, in card placement. But I think if you have the skill to play Tashikaze, we're not playing Pale Moon. Like, it's just better, in my opinion. It just generates hand. It's not as aggro, but it's just more defensive and still eats for numbers later. So.
Alright, lastly, any shoutouts?
Shoutouts to Ventura Games, my sponsor, of course. He got me here, so yeah, I won't be here without him. To everyone who told me to play this deck, so my girlfriend Andrew and Solon, and to all the Portuguese community that's cheering me back home and waiting for me to come back.
Alright, well, thank you, Nuno. Great job well done.
Thank you.
You made a lot of Pale Moon players proud.
Thank you.
Alright, then congratulations, man, and see you next year.